going on, my black hand radio operators? We ain't gonna waste no time, man. We just gonna get right into it. He's what I call a YS, a YouTube sensation. So I got my man Ash here. If I didn't marry my wife first, I would have married 40 meters.
You can get on and make contacts after contacts after contacts, just like my man Dre did.
Today we're gonna talk about Delta loops. Now,
so this is the Delta loop antenna, right?
I think if I buy another radio, I might have to get divorced, but
welcome to Black Hand Radio University. Yo, this is Kilo Whiskey 5, Delta Romeo Echo. I got my man K5 KAB in the building here, man. And look, man, again, man, look, I'm gonna just say this about ham radio. There's so many ways you can get to so many different solutions. Because again, for the second week in a row, we had some troubles. We got through it, man. We got here. My man is here. Brother Brown. What's going on, bro? How you, man?
Say, man, how you doing? Listen, Andre, I am so excited that you gave me an email to ask me to be involved. I watched a couple of your episodes, man, and I was like, wow, how do I get to be a big boy like this so that I can get invited on the show?
Bro, you just do what you do, man. That's how you got on, bro. I take everybody, man. Anybody got some knowledge? I ain't going after these like TV, movie star, whatever it may be. Like, on my other show, I don't go after them big stars. I just go after people like you and I, man. That's all, just YouTube content creators, stuff like that, man. So look, man, it was supposed to be you on here, man. So good to have you, brother. Very good to have you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, man, Kerrye, he runs a live show on YouTube. It's a show where he streams live QSOs. Now, if you have never seen it, it's awesome, man. It's real awesome. I'm going to show y'all just a little example of what he does. This is for those who don't know. This is what he does.
CQ20. This is Kilo 5 Kilo Alpha Bravo. Calling CQ20. CQ20. This is K5 KAB in Texas. Calling CQ.
November 8th, India Delta Alpha.
That November 8th station, come again, please.
November 8th, India Delta Alpha.
Roger. Good morning to you, sir, Mr. Moulter. Joseph, to be exact. November 8th, India Delta Alpha. This is Kilo 5 Kilo Alpha Bravo in Texas. I'll copy.
So those who don't, who don't know, that's what he does. And look, man, that's what's up, man. Like that's awesome, bro. Before I ask you how you got into doing that, let me ask you, how'd you get into ham radio in general, bro?
Wow, I've been a ham since 2003, if I'm not mistaken. And to be honest, I was a CB guy, man. I was a Citizen Band 11-meter guy. And I was shooting for the stars there, so I thought. And I often would ask some of the guys on Amazon, on YouTube and all of that, and Google, trying to find better ways of doing what I was doing. And I often kept running back into ham radio guys, ham radio operators. And seemed to me that they had not necessarily more information, but a different way of doing things. And so I just kind of gravitated to that way. And to be real honest, I got tired of my neighbors saying I was interfering with their televisions. So I figured,
wow.
So I figured if I could go another route and do it from a legal standpoint, then I would win. So that's what happened. And I'm a techie. I like to tinker with stuff. Man, I love building antennas. They don't always seem to work, but I love it. And because I just like fixing on stuff. And this was perfect for me.
Right. And yeah, I understand about the CB thing, man. Pops was had a little CB joint set up when I was young. As a kid, and I've said this before, as a kid, you're short, and everything looks tall to you. Like a 6-foot guy looks like a giant.
Yes.
I mean, I think this antenna was about maybe 100 feet up in the air, I was like, wow. But I always used to remember how I can always tell when he was on it, man, because the neighbors would come knocking on the door.
Exactly. That's a part of
They
it.
come knocking. You coming through the TV, the radio. Even in our house, he would come through everything. I mean, he had a strong signal there, man. So I
Is
definitely
that what
get that.
drove you?
You know
Is
what?
that what brought you to this?
No, you know what, man? It didn't. It kind of did. I had an idea, a background of it, and when I was young, I didn't really have an interest. But then as I got older, it was still in the back of my mind. Never, I said I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. So then I got some walkie-talkies, as they called it back then, and
Right.
I just recently got some HTs like last year around this time, as a matter of fact, because I only been a ham for like 11 months. So last year around this time, I got some some little cheap joints, and I just wanted something for emergency purposes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go to the store and see if my wife can still hear me from there. So I was like, okay, I need something, bigger and a little bit more strict.
Right.
So I mean, I just started getting into it then and there, and then I just got into it and wound up getting I got something for the rig, for the mobile, I mean, and then I wind up getting this Icom 73. I bought it used, and since then, man, I was just taking off. So it's crazy how that gets us into the how we get into the hobby, man. You know what I mean? It's just
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. Everybody got their magnet to pull them in.
yeah, yep. So let me ask you this, man. Before I get into what you do, man? What is your major contributor to learning in ham radio? What was the major contribution? Was it you just learning on your own? Somebody you saw, an elder? What was it?
That's strange because I'm a self-learner. I like to dig into information and find out what's going on. But I would say, wow, that's interesting. My main contributor, I would have to say self-taught, because I do a lot of Google searches, man, and a lot of YouTube. And especially with YouTube, it's incredible how much information on YouTube. You could build a space shuttle if you take your time and really pay attention to enough videos.
Absolutely. Yep. You right, man. You right. Yeah. What was your most memorable moment in ham radio?
Man, these are some great questions, man. Well, I would say about, like I said, I started this thing back in 2003, and I was really just getting my feet wet. And I was tuning around one night, well, about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, and man, I could hear all of this activity. And so I go searching the frequency out and started listening. And I found out that there was a guy calling from Pitcairn Island. It's way out past Hawaii. And I found out later that it was a part of where the movie Bounty of the Hunt, I think it's the Honey of the Bounty or something like that.
Okay.
And it's only about 50 people on this island. And this guy was from somewhere, and he went there just to start calling, man. And I made that contact. And, man, the monster was born.
Yo, let me tell you, man. My first contact, man. So let's see. I became a technician in August of 2022, and I was a technician. I didn't get a radio, like an HF radio, until January 9th, right? So January 9th, I got my first contact, man. And I was just like, whoa, like it was just like, damn, I talked to somebody in Texas. Now, right now, like don't get me wrong, because I think sometimes we take advantage of just how far we can reach out. But Texas to us is like, okay, I got somebody in Texas. But when I first started out, I was barely getting somebody 3 miles away. So I was like, Texas was big for me. I talked to him. I talked to his wife because she had a call sign too. So I got a 2-for-1, my first shot. And it was like, yo, it felt real good, man. It was like kind of motivating myself to keep doing it. And I think I told you I got 49 states within 2 months. So, and and I'm just like going at it, man. Like I was that pumped up, man. So I totally get it, man. Like, you know, that memorable moment, man. It's that memorable. I think I'm gonna get that too, man. I don't know if you've been following my series with the antennas, but I built an antenna. I got it down here somewhere. I think I'm gonna be real. I got excited, man, just by finishing it and building it and all that stuff. I still got to put the post in down in the ground and all that stuff. But I think when I put that sucker up, man, if it works, which I think it will, because I you know, I think I did it correctly. I'm gonna be pumped up, man. Like I'll probably just build antennas for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. What antenna did you build?
I got a 20. Hold on. I got a 20-meter dipole, bro. Like this is it. Now you could cut out a little thing, and then just, you know, make a little T and build it. But I got a little fancy. I like buying like stuff from Home Depot. So this is it, man. This is it right here. You know, I got my joint here. I just gotta glue it, put some glue on there. I didn't do that yet, but yeah, this is it, man. Hopefully it'll work. And you know, I just did it for 20 meters because I wasn't getting no love on 20 meters, man. Like no activity or nothing. I'm starting to get it now, but I just got it like a week ago. But prior to that, I wasn't getting nothing on 20 meters really as far back as March. I mean like February. So I said I'm gonna build that, but I'm getting activity now, man. I don't know if it was a ban or not, but I'm using it.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm an antenna nut, man, and they don't normally work, but I like building them.
Right.
And I always look for something that would be very beneficial for a small lot. I guess to get the bigger bang for your buck,
right,
is what I look for.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell anybody, man, if you're building antennas and you're really excited about it, do yourself a favor and go build a fan dipole. And we're talking one antenna, all bands, small area, and you win. Gotcha. Totally win.
Right. And you know, my antenna that I have is for it's 10 meters through 40 meters. But you know, I'm on 80 meters, like it ain't like the antenna's built for that, you know. So it's resonant on 80 meters. But sometimes my thinking with doing that 20 meter was I was like, okay, I said, you know, if I go to McDonald's, you know, McDonald's starts selling chicken wings and I go to McDonald's, I'm not buying chicken wings. I'm buying hamburgers. That's what McDonald's is known for. The chicken wings, they want to do chicken wings. That's not their lane, but they want to sell them. Go ahead, but I'm not buying them. Right. So
right.
Let's just say I go to Popeyes chicken. Oh, now we selling burgers. Nah, I stick with chicken for y'all. And the burgers, I'm not buying burgers from Popeyes because that's not your lane. McDonald's is the lane for the burgers. McDonald's for the burgers, Popeyes for the chicken. So with that said, when I built that antenna, I was like, I'm not going to build an antenna for all meters because if I build an antenna specifically for 20 meters, it's 20 meters. If I don't want it to go out, I want the 20 meter antenna to stay in your lane. Like I just want 20 meters because sometimes when you stretch yourself to go more than multi-band, sometimes you may have to sacrifice some of the efficiency on a specific band that you built it for. So I said, let me just try it. So that's why I did that. Technically, I do have a multi-band antenna, like a wire infed antenna, which works fine. You know, so but yeah.
This is what's the awesomeness of it all is just like you built that dipole.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you built one for 40, 10, 17, and you put them together side by side. That's what a fan dipole is. It's literally one antenna for that purpose only. And then you make 4 more and they're stacked together. So literally It's like you put, I'm gonna use your analogy. It's like if you put McDonald's and churches and the Chinese joint all in one building, like a mall.
Right. You got it. Okay, all right. Makes sense. Yo, we learn. We do. Look, man, we on here for streaming, but yo, we learning some stuff, and that's what it's about, man. That's definitely what it's
Exactly,
about.
man.
So let me get into the live streaming, man. How'd you come up with the idea? I mean, it's, how'd you just come up with, hey, look, I'm going live stream some and on the air, man. How'd you come up with that, bro?
I was to be honest with you, I was at work one day, and I'm such a ham radio nut, man. During one of my little lunch breaks, I'm on YouTube, and I always my catch up there for search would be amateur radio. And man, this guy, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform, I hope I got that right, Alex out of Florida. He's a Cuban immigrant. And man, it said he was live on YouTube. So I went there, and there he was, man, in his shack, making contacts, talking to people. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And so I could not wait to get home to get on my radio to see if I could contact him. And I did. And man, he put me on the live piece, and I could hear myself. And we had a conversation, a real good QSO. And I was like, man, this is right in this is my Burger King. This is my lane, So,
Right.
And so, man, I literally started trying to figure out how to do it. Matter of fact, that day, which was about 2 years ago, I said, man, I want to be able to do this. And he said, listen, give me a call and I would help you. And I started figuring out some things prior to me calling him. And so I was so close to be there. And eventually I did reach out to try to figure out some of the areas I couldn't come up with on my own. And he gave me some input. And man, about a week later, I did my first live stream, and it was horrible. The video quality was horrible. The audio was horrible because I had no idea that I would need to purchase all of these lights and stuff, man. And studio lights are very expensive. Yeah. And you have to have the right kinds. And man, I said, this might be beyond me, but I got it done. And right. Man, I tell you, the amount of responses that I get from people saying, wow, man, outstanding piece. I love this show and how you're doing. Never would have thought about it. And this one guy that really got me was, he says, he was an older guy, I could tell by his voice. And he says, man, listen, I get an opportunity to show my grandkids real time what it sounds like for me talking out. He said, I can explain it to them, but for them to watch YouTube and something right in their lane and see and hear, he says, man, I really appreciate what you're doing. And man, that just, that spooled me up more. That made me go a little harder.
Yeah. You know what, man? I thought the same thing when I saw your live streams, man. I was like, yo, he doing his thing, man. Like, he's really doing his thing. I was like, the setup, and I like the fact that it wasn't just you on the whole video screen. It was you had your display, you had stuff going on. You even went in, you took it a step deeper, man, and went into their QRZ pages. And I was like, yo, it's that detailed stuff, man. Like, it's important. Like, it goes a long way. It separates you from somebody who's just doing a live stream. Because my thing is, you gotta go a little bit further than what the next man is doing to stand out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
yes,
like you said,
exactly.
And those light, like all that studio light stuff, man, it's important. Like right now, I got a light, and it makes it like, let me turn it on. Makes a huge difference. Like, let me dim it down a little bit, but it makes a huge difference, man. It's just like boom. It makes a difference.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
It does. It definitely makes a difference.
I forgot to turn it on. And then, other than that, I'm just using a light from the house. It's like those spider lights, 5 different bulbs, bright light bulbs. But, it's simple, man. But, I got some lights here, and I don't use them that often, but you're right, man. It takes a lot. And then, setting up your videos. Now, let me ask you this real quick, because this is an issue I used to have too, man. Like, not an issue, but just the, formality of going live. I don't have to often, but sometimes I got to tweak stuff. Do you often, like, when you go live, what is your process for going live for a live show? What do you do? How do you prepare for it?
Wow. I want to say, because I've only been going live since, I want to say April.
Okay.
Maybe March. And so I'm still really new. And so I haven't developed what I would say, like a chain of events to go live. Because to be honest, even now, sometime I come up here to go live, man, and I put a nice shirt on and I'm ready to go. And I'll sit here for an hour and nothing ever happens because I got something just not right.
Right.
And man, then I have to figure that out. And now that little hour that I had set aside is gone. And so I said, well, maybe I'll try it again tomorrow.
Right.
And so, yeah, I don't have a chain right now because I'm still new with it. And so I'm trying to figure out some things, man. And we're just trying to make it work. Just like earlier with this audio, this is what's driving me mad is my audio. I'm using a mixer. And, if it was just man, that's awesome. If it was just like McDonald's making them burgers, but I'm trying to use it for podcast, live stream,
right.
audio out of my radio. So I'm trying to mix all of this stuff and make it play good.
Right.
It needs to be separated because it definitely would make everything a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to ask you, that was my next question. I was going to ask you, what is your background with audio and video?
Man, none. There you go. None. But I told you, I learn on the fly, man. I am a Google. I tell my wife all the time, man, Google is your best friend. I don't care what you're going through, depression, anything. Google is your best friend. And man, I just kind of watched how people are doing their things. And I'm like, man, what is he doing? Okay, let me figure this out. And matter of fact, my every other day I have something I'm working on, and right now it is my audio because I'm trying to figure out mixer, audio face. Which one is best for me? And so I've been making contacts to guys and talking to them. And I'm just trying to figure it out as I go, man. So
right.
That's what it is.
Right. And it's funny that you say that because I have another YouTube page. It's called Start to Finish Podcasting TV. And one of those videos there, it's a lot of videos about audio and stuff, but one of the videos, I do a comparison between a mixer and an audio interface. And I tell the advantages of a mixer and advantages of an audio interface. With the mixer, it's kind of like you can channel so many different lines of communication or lines of audio signals in the mixer to bring it out into one. So that was one of the advantages. And, the audio interface, this is what I use. This is one of them. I got a bigger one like this, but this is the audio interface that I use. It's called a Focusrite 2i. This is a 2i2. And it works pretty good, man. Like if you're doing solo stuff, you can use this. And I think, I'm trying to think, there's two lines here. So you can make it work where you're talking into this. And let's just say you're on your radio, you could take the audio from your radio that's coming out and put it right into here. It could be a 3.5 jack, or it can be a quarter jack because this is an adapter. So if it's a 3.5, it's not going to go in this audio interface. But if you have this adapter here, let me just see. You just, this is adapter, stick it in there, and then stick it in there. So now you got your audio going into here, and then the audio from the radio is coming out the radio and going into here. And it's recording. So it's recording both. So that's just a little something that, anybody who's watching wanted to know. Right. They come in handy. And these things don't require you to plug it up. It's powered by USB. This one is. The one I have, I wish I had my other camera on. The other one I have requires to be plugged up. But Anybody, if there's anybody interested in that, but I get it, man. It's just like it's hard, you just, I prefer
Really
both.
is.
Like I said, I got this. See, I wasn't even prepared for this, but I'm prepared for it. Like this here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is what we do on Hand Radio. This is what we do on
man.
Black Hand Radio University. We flip the script. Sometimes we don't stay on point, but this is good stuff. So we gotta know.
Exactly, man.
So look, this right here, you can put like 5 or 6 different lines of audio coming in here. You can have like 5 guests. You can have somebody on the phone. You can have background music. You can have sound effects connected to all of this. It's just it's awesome, man. So mixer, audio interface, they both do well. And it's up to you. It's up to the person who's using it to, you just choose whatever what you want to do. So
right.
that's just my spill on it. But let me ask you this, man.
It's a lot of information, man.
Yeah.
And now everybody's starting to do this virtual audio thing, and man, I'm just trying to figure out where should I be, and to take away some of this audio hurt, man, because it's tough, man.
Right.
But we're getting close. We're getting close.
Right. Yeah, man. It takes, you just got to figure it out just by trying everything. I like pizza, man, but I would have never known all the stuff that I like if I didn't try it. I mean, some of it was nasty, but then I had to try it. So with the audio too, man, some stuff didn't work, man. I just, I got to, I had to try it though, but
Got to try it.
you know how that is, man.
You're absolutely right.
Let me ask you this. What radio are you using to do your live streams?
Oh, man.
Or do you switch it up sometimes?
Listen, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And see, I don't want to plug ICOM if ICOM don't want to incentivize me,
Right. Oh, okay. Got you.
But
Right.
listen,
Got you.
But
okay.
this is
move,
real
good
talk,
move.
though.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
But
move.
this
Don't-
is real
yeah.
talk. Maybe they'll say, for your efforts, we'll take care
Yeah.
of you. But listen, I got a thing going on my show. I even did one show on CQ ICOM 7300 users only.
Uh-huh.
And man, that's what I use. I bought an ICOM 7300 back about a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
And man, before then, I was using the ICOM 756 Pro 2 that you could not pry out of my hands. The audio quality was awesome. People was telling me that the audio was great, and I was like, man, nope, this is my radio. And when they came out with the 7300, I went for it just to have another radio in case something happened to my 756 Pro. And man, listen, that radio is so outstanding for the price. And so one of the guys that I was talking to, he labeled it the 7300, the People's Radio. And man, I've taken that and ran with it because I'm telling everybody, man, 8 out of 10 ham operators owns the 7300, and I understand why. And so most of my show is on a 7300 because the audio is superb in that little box for that price.
Yeah.
I think Bob Howell fashioned the audio chain in that radio, and I think he also he did the microphone for that radio. He might not have fashioned the audio chain in it, but I know he did the microphone. And man, when Bob Howell touches a microphone, it's different.
It's like
and
gold.
Man, it's different. And so that 7300 is perfect for me and what I do. And again, I say ICOM 7300, man, the People's Radio.
Yeah, you right. And that Hyle, man, when he hooked up with ICOM to do that, it was just like peanut butter hooking up with Reese's, and look what they got out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So
because it makes a difference when I can build a microphone generally for some radios, but if I build a microphone for that radio, then guess what?
Yeah. Yep. I hear you, brother. So as far as like as far as you going live, is there any like other equipment needed? Like for those who don't know, what they say, hey, look, I want to go live, want to live stream. What do I need? What do you use? Is there anything specific other than your camera that you and your mic that you use?
Well, man, yeah, like I say, it's a lot of stuff going on around here, you know what I'm saying? Because you need a decent camera, and you can go in and get these cheap cameras or whatever. And my camera is not that great, but it's better than the one that I had. And so I think you need a great camera, man. And you're gonna need a microphone or some way of getting this audio into the system. But a lot of interface stuff, connections from microphones to cameras to the computer and so on. And once you do that, and it's it. But, they've even made it easier now because you can actually use your cell phone and stream live. People do it every day. They're out in the street and they say, girl, we're live, The same thing. It's the same thing. And it's just that simple, So, a lot of people want to make it too difficult. And it's not, just have to think around the box of how to do it in your way. And so it could easily be done with just a cell phone sitting here live on YouTube. And so I think it's really easy. It's just the fact of putting your mind to doing it and just making it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, man, like a lot of people, like you can use your camera. And I'm going to tell you, like you said, like I'm not gonna promote anything either because they ain't paying me. But
too late, man.
I'm not gonna do it again. You know what I am because I think this is shocking. It shocked the hell out of me, man. The Google Pixel 3. I do a lot of video recording on that thing, and damn if it don't look like it's high quality from a high quality camera, bro. Like this, it does a lot, man. And then a lot of those Android phones, they do good pictures and recording. So that's basically all you need. A lot of people try to, like, some of them feel like, I've asked people, I was like, when you going to go live? Oh, man, my stuff ain't right yet. What's not right? I got to get my stuff. No, bro, your stuff is right here. And the audio, like, the audio's not bad either on these other phones, iPhones and all that stuff. Like, it's not bad. So if you really want to go, just start out. Because I'm going to guarantee you, and I've seen this happen, and it happened to me too, your first video is going to be nothing like once you get into the game and get used to it. Your first video, you're going to look back on you think your first video is nice now, you're going to be like, all right, but then once you advance yourself and you put all this other stuff in, and then you're going to look back and be like, damn, I thought that was nice. my first podcast, not with this one, but my first podcast, it took me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to finish the recording. You know how long the podcast was? 9 minutes because I kept starting over. and then when I look at it now, it still sounds like crap. It's just like, so you will elevate as you go on, but just start. I'd say that to everybody. Just start, man.
And that's a good deal right there. Just start. Start, and you'll figure it out as you go. And that's what I'm doing. I'm first couple ones. I actually want to take them off YouTube because I'm really so disappointed with them. I was like, wow. I didn't think. I have this bright light from my ceiling fan, huge light above me, and I was like, man, surely that's all I need. And then I watched some of these others, and man, their video look all warm, and I was like, this ain't right.
Right. Yeah, it get like that, man. And if you don't have a camera, you just want to use some software, like you can use. They got cheap software. I mean, if you got a Mac, they got built-in software where you can record. I'm using Ecamm Live right now. That's a recording software. I'm just putting everything. Somebody gonna pay me.
See,
I'm
using
Ecamm Live right now, and it's the streaming service is pretty good. Some people use StreamYard, some people use OBS, but
I use OBS.
Okay, yeah, and OBS seems to be one of the it's like one of the standards people use. One of them. You got that. You got Ecamm Live. Some people use StreamYard. But whatever you use, man, like a lot of that stuff is free. Like especially the OBS, the StreamYard, even Ecamm Live is free to a certain extent. You know, they might have their logo in your corner, but until you pay the paid version. But
Right.
yeah, it ain't no reason for you to not just get it going, man. Just get it going.
You're absolutely right. Just get it going. But you know, when you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And so
right.
it seemed like it's so difficult, but it's not. But
Right.
I need somebody like, maybe I need to be rich or something, because I don't want to have to do this. I just want to say, I want to go live today, and somebody say, "Oh, you're ready. Let's go. Sit down." You know, that's what I want.
Yep. And look, man, it could be done, because like when I'm doing a show, as far as the setup and all of that, it's already set up. When you came on, all I did was turn your camera on into the thing, and that's it. So if you're going live by yourself, like that's like when I go live just by myself, I have a certain screen here that I just use, and that's it. But once you get established and set up, for those who want to do it, once y'all get established and set up, man, you know, you get to the point where you just turn it on, it's cool. You know, and that's the thing. It
does
for me.
make a difference.
Yeah. It's deterred
me. I think a lot of people should do it, man, because you know, for years, you know, the old antiquated ham radio, amateur radio thing, man. I heard you say something like, that's gone. We're into a new zone, man.
Yeah.
And we have to do so. 'Cause years ago, all you heard was beep, 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 beep.
Yep.
You know, CW.
Yep.
And then it went to AM, you know, and now we got sideband and FT8 and FT4 and all of these other different bands and modes of operation. I just feel that communicating over the audio with just the air, and that's great. But man, add some visuals to it, and it just makes everything so much better, because now the people are interacting with you. They get to see in your shack and talk about the old equipment behind me and how you do this. And man, it's a whole different. It's like instead of just eating salad, man, now you got some chicken on there as well, there, Roger.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. You're right, man. And I think, you know, when you're streaming live, people, it's make it interactive, man. Like I got, let me just see here. Like right now, let me just see something real quick. Let me just switch this camera up, and I'm gonna see if I can do something right here. Let's see. So I don't have it on now. I gotta fix that. But if people want to leave comments, there it is right there. So you can leave comments on here. It just pops up. You know, let me make it a little bit bigger.
Nice.
It'll pop up. You can get rid of it. You can bring it back. You can get rid of it, bring it back. You know, so it's important. Like if you want to go live, people, just make it interactive, man. And that's
it.
Yeah. And if you can't, if it's just like making it interactive, it's just like you don't have to bring them in on it. People, you can just like what you do. You go to their QRZ page and you look, you know, so that's, to me, that's interactive. You're not just sitting there like, la, 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 la. No,
you know, and that's what and even with my thing, I have my live chat rolling on the side, and you would be amazed at how many people come back and all they do is sit over there and live chat with me during my sessions. They don't key the radio up. They just sit there and says, "Man, you sounding good over here."
Yep.
And they comment on things from some of the contacts. You know, they're saying, you know, I have a 100-foot tower, yada yada, and I pull it up on the QRZ page, and they're looking at it, and there are people on the sidelines that saying, "Man, that's a great tower. What tower is that?" And, you know, and I'll shoot that back to them because I'm reading what they're asking. Right. And man, that just makes. I have guys coming from the Philippines, shortwave radio listeners, and they just come into the chat. You know, I've never had a QSO with them on the radio. But they're just in the chat, and that just makes it so much interactive, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. It makes a huge difference. It takes you a long way, a much longer way. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that, brother. Let me ask you this, man. You know, being that you stream live, none of the stuff is really delayed. So whatever is said is said.
It's said.
Have you ever had any anybody who hams that were like rude or just take it outside of the QSO perimeters and just start talking to you about excuse me, politics or anything like that? Just rude.
Man, I'm looking for some wood to knock on because it hasn't happened.
Okay.
It hasn't happened yet. And I hope that it doesn't. I don't do well with ignorance, man. A lot of people say, play like you don't hear any other. I don't do well with that. And so I don't want to say some things that I wish I could do a redo, but I don't do well with ignorance, man. And man, sometimes I get my whole day taken away. Not when I'm actually doing live stream, but just say when I'm out just making contacts or whatever, and somebody come by and say something stupid or whatever. Yeah. And man, it drives me, but I haven't had that to happen yet. I've had a guy or something in the chat after say something to me, and I'll give you a good example, and it's nothing major, but it's just something minor to me. But he says, I think I said CQDX. And that means that I'm looking for a distant station, somebody outside of North America. And well, not necessarily North America, because when I say DX, I'll take Canada calls as well. Well, the guy was calling from Alaska. I responded to him, and in the chat after the show, the guy says, well, I didn't know that Alaska has seceded from the U.S., and I was thinking about that. I was like, what is this guy talking about? Then it dawned on me the fact that I was talking to Alaska and I had said DX, and originally he was like trying to be smart. And I told him, I said, man, this is amateur radio. It's for relaxation purposes. I said, relax, calm down. Yeah. Don't get spooled up on just the smallest thing. Enjoy it. And man, he did. And because I disarmed him and I didn't, feed into all that bull, he come back and he says, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So, I have some manipulation skills to try to de-escalate the issue, but I don't always choose to. And so, man, I haven't had that issue yet, and I hope I don't. Sometimes, just being bright and overshadowing. And I think a lot of times you get what you give. Yeah. And, I'm just giving relaxation, fun times, enjoy the radio, nothing major. And so I feel like I received that back in terms, on my live streams. I choose not to talk about politics. Politics is all over right now. It's incredible, the state of the union from politics. And so I care not to talk about that because my view's certainly going to be different than about 50 or 60% of the people. Right. And some of the people are not willing to be open-minded and think and listen. They're just one way, and if it ain't that way, it's a done deal. And so I choose not to deal with those type of people because, man, the internet is real. Yeah. And all you have to do is go out and read, and it'll tell you the truth. This is not Fox Radio where they just saying all this crazy stuff that's not true and getting sued for $900 billion. You know, so I choose not to deal with it, and I hope I don't have to. Right. Because I really think you get what you give, and so I'm giving out a different perspective of what we're doing, and it's jubilant and happy and excited, and so hopefully that's all I receive in return. I hope nobody, I forget what they call it when they come just to bother you, So no Karens on K5 Watson Bourbon. Thank you.
And there it is. I want to end the show on that right now, but I ain't going to do that. It would be a great ending, though. Yo, let me ask you this, man, because a lot of people ask, I hear a lot of people ask, like, it's more new hams. Anyway, it's just more new hams that ask this. How do you connect your mic to your radio? What equipment do you use to connect your mic to your radio?
Well, and I'm not going to go to the other side of having to do radio and live stream because that's a monster, man. I found it to be a monster, and it might not be for smart people like you, but for me, because I'm using ICOM equipment, of course, you have to have an XLR card, and I have a host of external audio gear, and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe not, but I have a
Okay.
I have a rack, and it's full of audio equipment, and you have to bring that radio into that audio equipment. And what a lot of issues is hum and it's a grounding deal. So what I have found is that if you get with, see, here we go again. Here we go again.
we ain't gonna name. We ain't gotta name the.
Man, I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, man. I love my people, man. I love my people, but I'm just saying, Whiskey 2 India Hotel Yankee, Julius, Mr. Julius, man. That guy he's awesome. So I use an iBox, and the iBox is just a transformer that brings line level down to so to like radio level, bring it down so that your radio can handle it. And I use an iBox, and I take that audio out of my mix, out of all my audio gear, and bring it into my radio at line level, so that I think I got that right when I'm saying line level, so that my radio can handle it. And man, that's all you have to do in to get your boom mics into your radio is just bring it at line level so that your radio can handle it. So you're just using a transformer, and I can't show it to you on the wall, but it's called the one I use is an iBox by Whiskey 2 India Hotel Yankee. And man, that seems to work to me. And so that gets my boom mic into my radio. And I do have a mixer, and the mixer is for other stuff. You don't have to have a mixer to do it, but I do use a mixer because I have computers coming in. I want to be able to use this microphone to talk to the computer, and so there you go with all of that interface stuff.
Right. So I'm gonna get you out of here on this last question, man. Do you plan on expanding your live streams to something bigger? Like, is there a plan to expand, like to other streaming content, or just QSOs?
Man, I honestly thought about how do I go to the next level. I like what I do with the quick QSOs and the contacts for streaming and all that. I like that, but just like what you're doing here, I'll say, man, why can't I have a platform where I can just discuss issues and things of that nature? But I think it goes back to your personality. Again, I say I don't do well with ignorance, man. So all the racism and the comments and all of that just don't do well with me. So I don't have really another platform to discuss other than politics, and so I said, man, that's not good for my mental health,
Yeah.
So let me just keep it on the radio, and hopefully I get to a point where the radio community know who K5 KAB is, kilowatt 5 kilowatts in bourbon. Hopefully I get to that point, and I just want to do my streams like I'm doing. I want ICOM to acknowledge it and Yezu to acknowledge it.
ICOM, y'all need to pay this man, yo. ICOM,
I want them to acknowledge
you
it,
two,
man.
acknowledge and pay. A&P, acknowledge and
man.
pay, okay?
and when I get to that point, man, I'm just going to ride the waves, man.
I hear you, brother. Yeah. Yo, pay this man, please. Get this man his flowers while he's alive, man. Man, ICOM, can we get a little something for,
I'm saying, break bread with the brothers, man.
Exactly, man. Just give me I want a crumb of that bread you eating, man. It ain't going to hurt you, man. It ain't ICOM, it's not going to hurt you. It's not.
It wouldn't phase them the least bit. But, honestly, I do want what I'm doing to transfer into maybe me doing some unboxing for different companies
Yeah.
and showing them an iBox. This is an iBox, and showing them how it can hook up and how it's working, and just do some reviews for a lot of the companies. So I can visualize that. I can see
Right.
that. I can see that, and I think that would be pretty cool to do some reviews on different product and
Yeah,
even
yeah.
new product. I think that would be great. I could see myself going that route.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. So I know
Most
that
definitely.
I know that was the last question, but I want to get one more question in.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the kilowatts and bourbon, man?
Say, man, listen. I listen to these guys oftentimes, man, have these I don't know what you call it. I guess it's just a play on words on their call sign. And I can't tell you how often I made a contact, and for whatever reason, I just cannot discern those characters when they say K5, K8. And I'm like, is that a B or is that a P?
Right.
And man, so sometimes it gets heavy. But if they come back and they give out the wordings of it, like K5 kilowatts in bourbon, man, okay, now I hear you.
Right.
And some guys, I only know them by them saying the words like that. And I have a friend of mine. He says can't do enough, and I know that's CDE,
Right.
stuff like that. And so I thought I looked for a while on what could I use to be me. I didn't want to just Kentucky Fried Chicken or nothing like that. And so I like bourbon, and here we go again.
right. The bourbon, yeah. Damn, bro.
You know what I'm saying, man? Here we go again.
Ain't that
so
crazy?
I thought that would be pretty cool.
Ain't that crazy how we promote stuff and don't even know it, man?
Dude, I'm telling you, but you know what? You have to be smart and stay on top of this stuff, man, because maybe someday they'll hear it and be like, you know what? Let me do something with this guy so he can promote, because I can very easily change that K5 kilowatts in bourbon and start and actually put a bourbon in there like Bullet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so why not give me a call or email and say, hey man, next time you say 5 kilowatts in bourbon, I want to put a bottle of this on your desk, from you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so hey, I use 5 kilowatts in bourbon, man. And I often had a bunch of conversations about bourbon once they hear that, and so get a chance to talk about some bourbons. But I'm not like a major bourbon guy by no means, but I can be for the price.
I know that's right, bro. I know that's right, man. But yo, man, look, man, it was great having you on here, man. I really appreciate it, man. Yo, this is I'm glad you came on. And look, bro, you definitely are coming back on here. You got to come back on here, man. And we got to talk about some other stuff, man, because I know you some walking knowledge here, man. So we definitely talk about something, because I want to do a show on tuners and stuff like that. So definitely got to have you back, man. But I appreciate you coming on, man. And it's a blessing that I don't take any of that stuff for granted, man. I always say I don't take anything for granted. Somebody's time, man, because somebody's time is precious, man. And for them to take it and give it to me, I'm grateful. And I thank you, brother, for coming on. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for inviting me on. It spoke volumes, actually. And I was excited about the whole thing. I told my wife and my kids, I was like, man, I was invited, And so I thought it was awesome. And I definitely appreciate you even considering me. And man, we friends now, so that's a wrap. You know
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely,
that's a wrap. And whenever you need me to come on, it don't even have to be to come on. It could be some information or something you need. Then drop me an email or a phone call, man. And I have no problems. Listen, I'll be the one to shine the star, man. I want us to shine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hater, man. I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
Get it where it gets it, man.
That's right,
and
man.
I like it. And this is a nice platform, man.
Yeah, and I'm like you, man. I want everybody to win. I want us all to win, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna log off the show, man. I'm gonna have you stay on. Just stay on. Don't hang up or anything. But I
Okay,
just
no
want to say,
problem.
everybody, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Like I said, man, I don't take anything for granted. I don't take your time either. Those who view the show, and if you have any ideas about where you want to go, what you want to hear on the show, please just let me know, and I'll make that happen. I'll do my best to make it happen. But I'm going to be out of here. You have K5 KAB and Kilo Whiskey 5 Delta Romeo Echo. We out of here, and y'all be blessed. 73.
73.